You have to remember me. You have to remind me that, okay? But anyway, I did it already, okay? As you didn't come last class, but we're going to read this. You have to hear that reading. Is your voice holding you back? And then you have to complete using the relative pronouns, okay? So start reading and do it with the homework, okay?
Okay.
Like it or not, from there.
Like it or not, people are judged not by what they know or do, and not by the content of their speech, but simply by the way they sound. A University of California study.
A university, not universities, universities, that's semi-vowel, university.
A University of California study found that when it comes to first impressions, it was visual impact, which was the most important consideration, followed by vocal impact. On the telephone.
Okay, repeat the first one. Okay, it was visual impact.
Which
yeah
was the most important consideration, followed by vocal impact.
Followed, not follow it. Followed. Yeah. By vocal, by vocal impact.
By
okay. Vocal.
On the telephone.
Yeah.
On the telephone, where appearance is irrelevant. The sound of your voice accounts for a full 83% of how others judge you.
All right. Hello, Ricardo. Continue. But what's the matter with your beard?
I shaved it off because I don't like beards.
Okay. Continue reading then clearly.
Clearly, your voice is a key communication tool. It speaks volumes about who you are and determines how the world hears and sees you. Many professionals who have the talent and motivation to move ahead find common speaking problems block their success.
All right. Giselle, continue reading. Hello, Giselle.
Hello.
Take the advertising.
I'm sorry.
We are in number 3 in the period. Take the advertising executive. Could you find it?
No.
Number 3 in here. Number 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It speak on many professionals.
No. Number 3. You can't find it either. Still in here. I can read from here. But is your voice holding you back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Go to number 3. Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Many professional.
No, here. Which or who?
Okay.
Yeah, but
who?
You have to go further down, and to the period it says take the advertising executive, for example, and then you go to number 4. Take the advertising executive.
Okay. Take the advertising executive, for example, whose soft beauty,
breathy
voice makes her otherwise inspired presentation seem weak and lifeless. Or the talented.
Or the talented.
Or the talented consultant with a strong regional accent.
The talented IT consultant. The talented IT consultant.
IT. Or the talented IT consultant with a strong regional accent which people find difficult to understand.
All right, continue reading, Camila.
How you use your voice can make others view you as decisive,
Decisive,
confident,
decisive,
decisive,
decisive.
decisive, confident, trustworthy, and likable.
Trustworthy, trustworthy.
Trustworthy, trustworthy, and likable, or insecure, weak, unpleasant, boring,
Unpleasant, unpleasant.
unpleasant, boring, rude, or even dishonest. In fact,
Okay,
when
wait,
trying,
continue, Ricardo. So as for you to read, for all of you to read. In fact,
in fact, when trying to get their message across, people
message,
message,
message.
yeah. In fact, when trying to get their message across, people pay little, if any, attention to the effect their voices have on other people. Instead, it's the content which they are much more concerned about.
All right, and finish, Giselle, please.
So you may never know
So,
the reason.
no so,
So,
yeah, so,
so you may never know the reason why you fail to land that dream job, because people are unlikely to explain that every time you speak up, you may be letting yourself down.
okay. So in here, you have this article. What do you think is this article telling us? What is the message that this article is trying to give us?
that your voice can help you to give an impression,
Yeah,
a different impression.
yeah. Okay. So the voice is really important, and it's important for the impression, right? Okay. Yeah. So sometimes you give a good impression, but if your voice is not good, probably you're going to lose the job, or you're not going to get what you want. All right. Okay. How do you like your voice? What do you think? Do you
I
like
don't
your
like
voice or not? Camila,
No.
you don't. Why not?
I don't know. I think I was too high.
Yeah.
But,
So
but women has
using the vocabulary that we were learning, what would be the word, or how would you define your voice?
high pitched.
High pitched. All right. Okay. So what about you? What's your opinion about your voice?
I don't like my voice because
Not either. Why? Why not?
I feel it's a little husky.
Husky. But husky is a positive. It's a positive adjective. Husky is like low tone. It's like deep in a certain way. Oh, it wouldn't be bad. Francisca, how about you?
I don't like it.
You don't like it either. Why not?
Because it sounds like a child.
Like a child. So it's high pitched, or high pitched, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Or squeaky. Or squeaky.
I think that is quickly.
Squeaky. That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad. Okay,
Yeah.
Ricardo, what about your voice?
My voice is terrible.
Why?
I don't like it. In fact, I feel really ashamed when I listen to my recordings or videos.
Okay. Really?
My voice is, I don't know, monotonous.
Monotonous. All right.
Monotonous,
Okay.
flat.
Flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to work on that, because a teacher cannot be flat.
Yeah.
Cannot be monotonous.
I
So you
know.
have to work on that. How can you make your voice a little bit more lively? How can we make our voice lively?
By training? I don't know.
By what?
Training.
Yeah. No, you have
Talking
to
with
practice.
emotions.
Singing.
Talking with emotions. with our emotions.
I think that
To
the
express.
best way to make our voice a little bit more, a little bit more lively is by changing the tones. Okay, sometimes you can talk in a soft way, but sometimes you can shout. Okay, and in that way, the students are going to be awake all the time. All right. Now, I think it's sometimes necessary to uh, to play with that thing. For example, when the students are very noisy and making a lot of noise, you start talking like this, very soft, very soft. And they, little by little, they start like, diminishing their voice because they want to listen to you, right? Or sometimes it is necessary to, hi, to say something loud, okay? They are going to awake, okay? So it's a kind of, I think that a teacher has to work with a lot of, first of all, the voice, second, the body language, the movements, the expressions, the faces. That you can use a lot of tools in order to make it more entertaining. All right. In my case, for example, I've been working for 40 something years, and I've heard from my students, some of them say that my voice is some of them say that my voice is soothing, and that is good. Yeah. But me, myself, I think it's too high. Yeah. Whenever I talk on the phone, for example, I'm talking on the phone and they say to me, Miss, they don't tell me Mr. So my voice is not deep at all. Yeah. I would like to have a deeper voice like this, like a FM stereo voice like this. But I can't. My voice is too high for a man. So sometimes people are confused with me because they think that I am a woman. Okay. And also when I sing, when I have listened to me singing because I have sung sometimes, and in fact my voice is really kind of high. I don't have a deep voice. I would like to have a deeper voice. What about you, Melissa? Do you like your voice?
No.
No, nobody likes your voice. Why not? What's the problem?
I don't know. I just don't like my voice.
I think that you all have kind of a regular voice, not bad voice. I think that some people have a squeaky voice. That's kind of annoying, right? That's kind of annoying. Or probably too harsh. That is also for a student, like it's fearing. But in general, you have like a nice voice, soft, which is good, warm. Yeah, so it's you are lucky in a certain way. Okay, let's continue with this. Let's see then exercise 7. All right, exercise 7. Okay, we did this part, right? We did this, but exercise 7, we haven't done exercise 7. Number 1, read Camila. She speaks.
She speaks in such a mellow and soft manner that it makes me feel drowsy.
Drowsy, yeah. And soft manner, yeah, could be soothing. I think that mellow and soothing is more like the idea in there, all right? Number 2, I think number 2, we did it anyway. Giselle, number 2. Most
Most people find a harsh tone the most annoying because it sounds like the person is complaining all the time.
time,
All the time.
time, time.
Time.
Yeah, that's it. Ricardo, number 3.
3, actresses with deep, warm voices are considered to be very attractive.
Yeah, that could be deep, warm, deep, husky also. Good adjective in there. Number 4, Melissa.
You can often tell if someone is nervous by their squeaky voice.
In there, I think it's wobbly.
Okay.
Wobbly, because wobbly is unsteady, not when you are, it's like trembling voice. Yeah, wobbly. Yes, when you're nervous, you start like, or when you are ready to cry, you start like, you know, your voice is wobbly. Okay, the next one is Giselle.
I don't think he means to buy the. He always sounds bored because he speaks in such a flat monotone.
Right, flat monotone. That's right. And Camila, the last one.
Some languages sound soft and soothing, but while others can sound squeaky, as if people are arguing all the time.
I would say harsh. Harsh, like severe, okay? Some languages can sound soft and soothing, others can sound harsh, more aggressive, okay? Yep, we're ready with this. Yep, and I send you some materials for defining and non-defining relative clauses. The day I send you a lot of materials about that, and I also send you a paper in which they talk mainly about defining. What is the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses? Can you explain to me that? Who can tell me?
Relative clauses try to put the attention or the importance in the subject.
Yeah, but what about defining relative clauses and non-defining? What is the difference between defining a defining relative clause and a non-defining relative clause? Defining relative clauses give information about the subject, important information. Yeah. Non-defining relative clauses give extra information about the subject. In non-defining, you use commas because you can take that part out of the sentence and the sentence is still makes sense. Yeah, that is the difference. For example, if I say the doctor who lives next door works in the hospital. Yeah, the doctor works in the hospital. That's the sentence. Yeah, but I'm giving more information about the doctor. So the doctor who lives next door works in the hospital. Yeah, but sometimes I can give extra information which is not necessary. All right. For example, in that case, I am trying to identify the doctor. Yeah, but I can also use other, and I put them in between commas, and then they are not as important. Okay. For example, if I say the doctor, comma, who lives next door to me, comma, works in the hospital. In there, I'm not paying attention to the doctor. I am giving extra information about him. Yeah. But if I say the doctor who lives next door to me, yeah, that implies that there might be more doctors in my neighborhood. Yeah. So I am trying to identify a doctor particularly. So I don't use commas in there. So it's not the doctor that lives 3 blocks away from me. It's the doctor that lives next door to me, the one who works in the hospital. Okay, so you have to see the difference between giving information, which is important, and giving extra information, which is not so important. So defining defines the person. Non-defining gives extra information between commas. Okay, that is the idea between defining and non-defining relative clauses. Okay, and I'm going to share something with you. And in order to use defining and non-defining relative clauses, you have to use also the relative pronouns. The relative pronouns. Okay, and then you have to know what are those pronouns. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. In here you have relative pronouns. Read them, please, Ricardo.
Relative pronouns: whose, when, who, where, which, that.
All right. Which is number one, the relative pronoun that is used to refer to things.
That?
Which?
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 Which. That's which, also that. Yeah. To refer to people.
Who?
Who. To refer to people or things.
Which?
Which?
That. Which,
Ah,
that, or which. Okay. Both. Again, here. So here you can write which and that. And here you can put that and which, because they are the same, right? Okay. Which relative pronoun is used after nouns referring to a place?
Where?
Which one?
Where?
Where? Oops. Here. Where? Ah, that's right. Use after nouns referring to time.
When?
When. All right. And used to show possession.
Whose?
Whose?
That's right. Whose. Okay. Yeah. So these are the relative pronouns that you have to use. Also, you have to use pronoun with an preposition. For example, with whom? With whom? Yeah. Or to whom? Right? So you're using the pronoun, the relative pronoun with a preposition. All right. Okay. Now going back to the book. All right. So let's go into page 23. 23, and it says here, match sentences 1, 2 with meanings A, B. It says, she listened to the second message in her phone inbox, which was in English. She listened to the second message in her phone inbox, which was in English. Yeah, it says message number 1 was in another language. She listened to message number 2, which was in English. B, she had received lots of phone messages. The 5th and 11th messages were in English. She listened to message number 11. So, which you have to match 1, 2 with A, B. Read them again and try to match them. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready? What is 1? Which did you match?
with letter A.
Yeah, yeah, one with A. So she listened to the second message in her phone inbox, which was in English. So message number one was in another language. She listened to message number two, which was in English, right? The second one, she listened to the second message in her phone inbox, which was in English. That means that she had received lots of phone messages. The 5th and 11th messages were in English. She listened to message number 11 only. All right. So she listened to the second message in her phone inbox, which was in English. Yeah. So in this case, the commas are the ones that makes the difference. Okay. Okay. Now, for example, in exercise 4, it says, which sentence makes it clear that Paul has more than one brother? More than one brother. It says, read it, please, Ricardo.
Number 1.
Yes.
Paul's brother, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish.
Yeah.
Number 2. Yeah. Paul's brother, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish.
All right. So, it says here, which sentence makes it clear that Paul has more than one brother? And then in there, you have two sentences, right? In one is with inverted commas, so with commas, and the other one without commas, right? In which you can see that he has more than one brother.
Number 2.
What do you think? Do you agree?
I think it's number 1.
Yes, it's number 1.
Right?
It's number 1, yeah. Because Paul brothers, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish. Yeah. Paul's brothers, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish. Yeah. He doesn't make any difference. So it is supposed that he has only one brother. That he has more brothers, right? But in the other one, Paul's brother would be the only one whose girlfriend is from Argentina, comma, speaks good Spanish. Yeah. It's not totally clear, but in the second one, when you put the commas, you are saying that Paul has only one brother. In the second one, it doesn't mention anything, but it's like more possible that he has more brothers. Brother whose girlfriend, from all the brothers that he has, yeah, from all the brothers, Paul's brother, his girlfriend is from Argentina, yeah. Like in the other one, Paul's brother, comma, this is the only one whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish. Okay? Did you get it or not? It's difficult, but that's the idea, okay? When you say Paul's brother, comma, you're saying that only one brother, Paul's brother, only one brother. And then you define Paul's brother as you give extra information about this brother, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, speaks good Spanish. In the first one, yeah, Paul's brother whose girlfriend is from Argentina, meaning Paul's brother, from all the brothers that he has, yeah, whose girlfriend is from Argentina, yeah, speaks good Spanish. Yeah.
So number 2 is the one that makes it clear that Paul has more than one brother?
No.
No.
Number 1.
Lo
voy a decir en español. Si tú tienes el hermano de Paul cuya polola es de Argentina, habla buen español. Ya. El hermano de Paul cuya polola es de Argentina, o sea, uno de los hermanos de Paul quiere decir eso. El hermano de Paul cuya polola es de Argentina, porque no lo está separando. En la segunda dice, el hermano de Paul es uno, cuya polola lo separó, cuya polola es de Argentina, habla buen español. O sea, aquí en la segunda, él está diciendo que Paul tiene un solo hermano. Ese hermano que tiene una polola de Argentina. En cambio, la otra, no hay comas, por lo tanto, el hermano de Paul, cuya polola es de Argentina, el hermano de Paul, él puede tener más hermanos y las pololas son de otros lados. Yeah, esa es la idea. That is the idea in the end. Okay, the commas is telling you that he has only one. Yeah, belongs to this guy. Yeah, it's difficult, but that's kind of the importance of the commas in a certain situation. Yeah. Okay, let's go now into the exercise 5. Complete the sentences with the words in the box. In some sentences, more than one option is possible. Yeah, let's see, Giselle.
The man who was speaking loudly on his mobile phone was a journalist.
Okay, Camila, number 2.
I will never forget when I was. No. I will never forget when I was. I don't know.
Who can tell me? I will never forget.
Whom?
Where?
Where?
Where I was when I heard the news.
Yeah, I will never forget where I was when I heard the news. That's right. Okay. Number 3, Francisca.
The person with that I have most in common is my sister.
There's a preposition there.
With whom?
With
whom. ¿Con quién? La persona con quien tengo más en común es mi hermana. The person with whom. So whom usually goes, whom can go with a preposition. To whom, with whom, right? Okay, the next one, number 5. Melissa.
Number 4.
Number 4.
The man who?
No? Just we were observing that when you have something related to possession, what is the whose phone I found? Yeah, whose phone I found? Send me 100 pounds. All right, Ricardo, number 5.
The time that I spent without internet access was terribly hard.
All right. Could be that, or it could be which. Any, right? Okay, number 6, Giselle.
My mobile phone, which I lost on the train last week, had all my contacts on it.
All right. Number 7, Camila.
It was early in the morning when I received a call from my aunt in Australia.
It was early in the morning when? Yeah, all right. Number 8, Francisca.
I had to take an urgent call, which was why I walked about the restaurant.
Yeah, which, that's right. That is correct. Okay, and now which of these are defining or non-defining? Number 1, the man who was speaking loudly on his mobile phone was a journalist. Defining or non-defining?
Defining.
Defining. I will never forget where I was when I heard the news.
Defining.
Defining. Defining. The person with whom I have most in common is my sister.
Defining.
Defining. The man whose phone I found sent me 100 pounds.
Defining.
Defining.
Defining. The time which I spent without internet access was terribly hard.
Defining.
Defining. My mobile phone, which I lost on the train last week, had all my contacts on it.
Non-defining.
Undefined.
Non-defining, that's right. How did you get it?
Because some of the phrases are giving information and some others are giving extra information and using commas.
Yeah, in here you can say my mobile phone had all my contacts on it. And it was absolutely perfect, but you are giving extra information. Mobile phone, which I lost on the train last week, had all my contacts on it, and it has commas. That's right. It was early in the morning when I received a call from my aunt in Australia.
Defining.
Defining. I had to take an urgent call, which was why I walked out of the restaurant.
Non-defining.
Non-defining. That's right. But you don't have the second part in here, right? But it's non-defining. I had to take an urgent call. That is the most important part. Okay, that was it. And then we're going to go into the writing. Next page, okay? Next page is page number 24, okay? In here I'm going to stop. I received your essays except Ricardo's. Ricardo's, you didn't send me your essay.
I thought I sent it last weekend or not.
No, I haven't received
No?
any essay from you.
Oh, I have it. I can send it to you.
Yeah, okay,
after.
send it, because now we're going to go into the second writing
Oh,
homework. So, okay, I send you today the feedback of your essays. What can I tell you about the essays? I think that your essays were well written in general, but I think that you sometimes didn't use the things that I sent you. In here, in the writing reference, I sent you this. Do you remember? Which is a model on how to write an essay. It's a model. In here you have the some indications. Oops, this way. Some indications, okay, on how to write an essay. And the previous page, this one has a lot of phrases that you can use in order to connect your paragraphs, okay? I think that you have to use more connectors and more things like this or phrases in order to make your essay more structured, okay? Because sometimes it seems that they are like different ideas, like separated ideas. So you have to connect them. How do you connect? With these phrases and with connectors, right? So I think that this is one part that you are missing. Use connectors. You have to use connectors. You have to use phrases. For example, here I have a lot of phrases. It is often claimed that. Many people contend that. We often hear that. Those are introducing topics, linking ideas. While it is true that, not only do, but they also, that may well be so, but surely, in fact, etc. So this is very useful. Okay, so I sent you the feedback. Read it and try to correct some little things and be ready when we have the writing. Now, another thing that I have to tell you, in the not the following week, but the other week, I think it is going to be, let me see, in my cell phone. We are now the 6th. Then we have the week of 10th up to 14th. So Tuesday, the 18th, we are going to start with the tests. Yeah, we're going to try to finish unit 3 or up to where we finish. All right. So Tuesday, the 18th, I'm going to start probably with reading and writing. And then during the week, we're going to have speaking and grammar. Okay. Yeah. So you have to be prepared for that. You can start studying. We are going to try to make a review, all right, of everything. Yep. Okay. So now let's start now with the proposal, which is next way of writing. Okay, the proposal, page 24. Okay, in here, it says here, which statement refers to a proposal and which refers to a report? Excel, read number 1. Melissa, read number 2. Excel?
Number 1. This looks to the future, giving specific plans for a particular situation.
Situation. That's right. Melissa, number 2.
This makes recommendations that are based on a current situation.
Okay. Read both, and which is for a report, which is for a proposal. What do you think?
The first one is a proposal.
Yeah.
And
The second one, a report. Why do you think that the first one is a proposal, Ricardo?
Because this looks to the future.
Yeah.
And it's something that could be done in not now, but after a time. So
Yeah.
that's a proposal to me.
Yeah, you are giving you are proposing something to
Yes.
to fix something, right?
Yeah.
You are giving plans to fix something that was not right, okay, in the future.
Yeah.
While the other one, it says, are recommendations which are based on a current situation. So the problem is now, but you are analyzing that problem. While in the other one, you have plans to for like fixing a situation in the future. Okay, it says here, look at the exam task and the tips for writing a proposal. Then read a candidate's answer. The candidate has not followed one of the tips. Which one? Okay, it says here, you see this announcement on a notice board where you work. Yeah, read that, Francisca, please. Improve our communication.
The staff training and development.
Start from the very beginning, Francisca, from the title. Improve.
The title. Okay. Improve our communication. The staff training and development department has decided to spend part of its budget.
Yes.
On a program to improve workplace communication.
All right. Okay. Let's stop here. The staff training and development department has decided to spend part of its budget. What is a budget? What is the budget?
I don't know.
What is the budget? Open question.
That's an amount of money that will be used for a specific purpose.
Right. Okay. Usually in a department, they give you a certain amount of money for you to make things. Okay. And this is going to be your budget. The budget is for the budget for the government, the budget for a house, the budget for a family. Okay. For example, you can have, my budget is 100 pounds, but I have spent more than that. So I'm not fixing into my budget. Okay. So I am over my budget. Okay. That is the idea. Go on reading, Camila. Staff training and development.
The staff training and development officer. The staff training and development officer invites you to spend a proposal outlining any problems with current workplace communication and explaining
Communication, not communication, communication.
Workplace communication and explaining how it can be improved. A decision will then be made about how the money should be spent.
Be spent. Okay, so this is a problem. This is what we have. We have to improve our communication. Okay, so staff training and development department has decided to spend part of its budget, part of the money, on a program to improve workplace communication. So you have to create ideas in order to offer a proposal to improve communication. That is your task, right? Okay, you have to write something about that. So in here you have tips for writing a proposal. Melissa, read tips number 1 and number 2, please.
Begin by stating the purpose of your proposal. Use an impersonal, semi-formal style.
All right, okay, very important. Begin, you have to start by stating the purpose of your proposal. Stating the purpose of your proposal. Number 2, very important, use an impersonal, semi-formal style. Impersonal. What is the meaning of impersonal? You don't have to say I. Usually when you write, you never use I, you never use first person singular or first person plural. You have to make it impersonal. For that, you have to use a lot the passive voice. It is said, it is recommended, it is done, it was announced. See, passive voice is impersonal because nobody knows who's talking, right? So you have to use impersonal language. Okay, number 3 and number 4, Ricardo.
Number 3, use clear layout with headings. Number 4, express opinions and make recommendations in the last section of your proposal.
Okay, number 5 and number 6, Giselle.
Include a final sentence summarizing your opinion. Summarizing your opinion. Use bullet points, but not too many.
Bullet points.
Bullet.
You know what bullets are?
What is bullet?
You know what they are?
No.
Let's see. These are bullets. No, over here. Where is it? Oh, in here. Can you see it or not?
Oh, yes.
These are bullets. Points, could be points, could be stars that are at the beginning. Those are bullets, right? Okay, so these are the tips. Begin by stating the purpose of your proposal, use an impersonal semi-formal style, use clear layout with headings, express opinions and make recommendations in the last section of your proposal, include a final sentence summarizing your opinion, use bullet points, but not too many, only 3 or 4, not more than that, okay? So in here we have a model in this part. We're going to read part of it only, and then this is exam tip. You are going to have this for next Tuesday. Okay? You will have to send it to me. All right? So let's start. Start reading, please, Francisca. Improving workplace communication, a proposal.
Improving workplace communication, a proposal.
Communication.
Communication, a proposal. Introduction. In this proposal, I will assess the current...
I will assess, not access. No. Assess.
I will assess the current situation with regard...
The current
situation with regard to workplace communication. Go on to identify the needs which should be addressed by a staff training program, and conclude by describing this training program.
All right. One thing, Francisca, identify, not identify. Identify.
Yes, sorry.
Right.
I'm trying to write this.
Okay, so current situation. Melissa, read that.
Current situation. Feedback from other members of staff suggests that the volume
No, suggests.
suggests,
Oh, be careful with that. S at the end, suggests.
suggests that the volume
No,
of
no, it's not suggest, it suggests.
suggests
You have to say like the flight sets, suggests.
suggests.
Yeah, okay, but you have to practice that. Suggest what?
Okay. That the volume of email messages we receive has become a problem. Many people find that they spend several hours a day responding to these messages.
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 A second but related complaint concerned poorly written emails. Many of us receive messages that cause offense, are difficult to understand, or are simply far too long.
Okay, Ricardo. He needs to be addressed.
Key needs to be addressed. Both the number of email messages we receive and the quality of the messages have a negative impact on our productivity. People feel
Disinclined
to respond to rude, confusing, or excessively lengthy messages. This issue must be addressed.
All right, Camila.
Recommendations. I will suggest the following to the staff training and development department.
Department.
All members
All.
of the staff.
No,
all members of the staff should be encouraged to communicate by phone whenever possible.
Yeah, communicate. Communication, communicate. All right, yeah. Continue.
Any information that needs to be communicated to the entire staff should be presented in a face-to-face meeting rather than through email. A training course on writing effective email messages
On writing.
should be
on writing
effective email messages should be offered to all staff members.
To all staff members. Okay. Some little things, Camila, is with sh. It's not should, it's should. Should. Sh. U, d, should. No L, should. All right.
Should.
Okay, so if we compare with the tips that he has, number one, begin by stating the purpose of your proposal. Is it correct in there? Does he state the problem? Yeah, there's an introduction in there, and they is saying what is the problem. Okay. Did he use an impersonal, semi-formal style?
Yes.
I would say yes too. Except in the recommendations, because in there you have to use personal thing. It's your personal, but in general it's impersonal. So that is correct. Anything to say, Ricardo?
No, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, use clear layout with head, etc. So the guy in general wrote a good thing. I think that the last one was not, no, number 5. I think he didn't do that. Include a final sentence summarizing your opinion. Okay, and I think that he didn't do that in this. Didn't do that, right? But the rest, it was okay. Now, this is a task that you have to do for Tuesday. Look at the exam task and prepare to write your answer. If you are asked, pay attention to this. If you are asked to write about something you haven't experienced directly, use your imagination. Okay? Use your imagination to generate ideas. You won't be marked down for any ideas as long as they are relevant to the task. Okay, and here is the situation. Students at your college have to give a spoken presentation. part of their final assessment and need some help. The school director has invited you to send a proposal outlining any problems students have with presentations and suggesting how these problems could be overcome. Yeah? What do you have to do? Begin by brainstorming ideas. Write them down in any order and don't worry about language at this stage. Group your ideas under headings for each section of your proposal and write a first draft paying attention to the level of formality of the language. We are not going to write any draft now because we don't have time. But what ideas come to your mind? Because this is very, you know about this, okay? Students have to give a presentation and the school director wants to help them. What are the problems that students have when they have to give a presentation? You have suffered that. You are students. You have suffered that. What happens to you? What happens to you when you have to give a presentation, Camila?
I feel very nervous.
Yeah, nervousness is the first thing. Nervousness. What else?
Speak loudly.
Sorry?
Speak loudly. Weak. Your voice is weak.
Ah, yeah, your voice. Second, yes. First of all, nervousness. Second thing, problems with the voice. Could be maybe too soft, maybe too monotonous, maybe too, I don't know, problems with the voice. What other things students normally have? Only nervousness?
The time?
Huh?
The time that they use?
Yeah, the timing.
Time that they
the
use
timing
in
of the presentation. Good, the timing of the presentation. Okay, what other thing? What other thing? You can have lots of problems.
Problems to catch people's attention.
Yeah, catch people's attention. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they could be boring.
Yeah, all right.
The information that they use in their PPT.
Yeah, okay. Could be type of or what they use in order to communicate their ideas. Okay, if it is a PPT presentation, PowerPoint presentation, or if it is, I don't know, only without any means of communicate, etc. Okay, now this is the situation. So you have to have a proposal how to help students to improve their presentations in their classes. Okay, you have to write that. I'm going to send you this. Well, you have it, all right? And I'm going to try to find the writing reference. I think I have it in here. Let me see. In here, it's more like a report, more than a proposal, this one. But I'm going to send it anyway, all right? And I don't know if and here we have, for example, this part, which is very important, this part. Read that. Can you read it?
I can see, but I can't read.
Useful language for a proposal. Useful language for a proposal. So you can use this to write your proposal. You can use this. Here you have lots of words, vocabulary, phrases that you can use in your proposal. Use it. Because when you write it, you learn it. If you don't write it, you don't learn it. Okay? So read with this and try to write using the proposal. I'm going to send it to you. Okay? Good. And we are done with unit 2, which is very good. Okay? Now, I want to show you another thing here. Before this, wait a minute. How can I do this? Ah, no, this is not the one. Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do orally this exercise, which is it's like a review of the unit. All right, can you see or not? No?
No.
No,
No.
okay, wait. I'm going to try to share it. Wait, there it is. Yeah, it's in your book. It's the next page. I think it is page 25. Here, this is an exercise that you are used to do it. Okay, so let's start by Giselle. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in capitals. You have include in there. Okay, number one, read it.
That's the total cost of the holiday. That includes.
I can't hear you, Giselle. I can't hear you. Open your microphone.
I'm afraid there's
sorry. That's the total cost of the holiday, including all meals.
Right, including all meals. Okay. Francisca, number two.
Can be
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid there's been an administrative error.
No,
Administrative.
administrative.
This sorry, the pronunciation.
An administrative error. Okay, Camila, number three.
Texting can be a problem if becomes an addiction.
Decide. Say it again.
Addiction.
Addiction, yeah. Texting can be a problem if it becomes an addiction. All right. Ricardo, number four.
Number four, deciding is a problem which affects many people. They can't decide what to do, so they end up not doing anything. That's what happened to me this week.
Deciding is a problem which affects many people. They can't decide what to do, so they end up not doing anything. All right. Deciding, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, it's correct. Let's see, Melissa.
Their music is easy to recognize because the sound is quite distinctive.
Quite?
Distinctive.
Yes, distinctive. All right. Okay, you finish that. Okay, you have to do that because it's a good exercise. Okay, now complete with the article with a and the or zero article. Let's see. Texting Your Way to the Top is quite good book, but it's a bit heavy going in some ways. You have to use a and the or nothing.
A.
A, yeah. So Texting Your Way to the Top is quite a good book, but it's a bit heavy going in some ways. A lot of the information is from
a recent research.
From a recent research that has been done and that makes it rather hard to read at times. Okay, you have to do that. You finish it at home, all right? You finish it at home. Let's see the other one. In here, talk to yourself. What do you have to do in here?
Use relative pronoun.
In this part?
Yes, it said
Because I don't have it in here. Yeah. Relative pronoun, pretty easy. You know that. We were doing that today. Okay. And then choose the correct alternative in each sentence. And there you have. She had such a monotonous or high-pitched voice that a student often used to fall asleep in her lectures.
Monotonous.
Monotonous. That's right. Okay. So this is review. You have to do it as homework. All right. Okay. So let's go into the next page, which is unit 3. Age and stages. Ages and stages. The first thing that we're going to do here is what is the is the image tells you. What does the image tell you? Sorry.
Maybe the woman in the past was a ballerina.
Okay, maybe the woman in the past was a ballerina, yes. Any other idea?
Life is short.
Good thinking. Yeah, life is short. I was a ballerina and now I am an old person walking with a stick. All right. Any other idea? Good, Francisca, good idea, good point. What other can you think of?
Maybe it's about the soul age.
Old age? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, could be. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like the reflection of your life. Yeah. You live a long life and those were epochs that you have lived in your life. Okay. Young person, movement, very easy to move, very plastic, and the other one, an old woman. That same person becomes an old woman and with difficulties to move and to walk, right? Which is something that happens to all of us, all right? By the way, the other day I fell down here. I was in a meeting, and then suddenly I realized that my computer was without charge. So I didn't have the battery here. I didn't have the cord. And I said to the people, because I was the host in the meeting, I said, okay, wait for me. I'll be back in a minute. So I run to the second part of the house, second floor, to pick up the cord of the cable of the computer. And when I was going up, I fell down and I hit violently, I hit my knee. And I had an injured in there. So now it hurts a lot. And at the same time, I continued with working, but then when I finished, I looked at my knee and my pants were all with blood in the knee. So I spoiled my pants and I had an injury like this in the knee. That was because I am old. Because when I was younger, I could run faster and easily, Now I'm getting older, heavier, and so I slipped in there. Okay. Yeah, so in here we have two sayings which are interesting. It says, before we're going to do it together, work in pairs and discuss why someone might have made each of the comments. Do you agree with them? Okay. Read the first one, Ricardo.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Youth is wasted on the young. Who said that?
George Bernard Shaw.
What? Shaw. What
Shaw.
did he write? What did he write? George Bernard Shaw, famous British writer from the old times. He wrote Pygmalion. Did you read Pygmalion?
No.
No? Bad.
No.
Pygmalion is a wonderful book, and it was made a movie from that book. What is the name of that movie? That you have to watch, you have to see it, because in there you can learn a lot of phonetics. My Fair Lady. Have you heard about My Fair Lady? No? Look at this. This is a book that when we were young, we read that and we had to watch the movie. The movie is an old movie, but it's about two linguists that one day go to a fair in England and they see a woman that spoke like the worst way of speaking, with a lot of idioms and lots of bad pronunciation. she didn't make any modulation. So she spoke like that, you know, like that. And one of the guys said, I bet you that I can take, because they were both linguists, all right? I bet you that I can take that woman to my house and make her a princess. The other guy said, no, that's impossible. I mean, she's so rude and not well educated, but I can educate her. I can educate her and make her a princess. And I can take her to a ball. You know what a ball is? A dance, right? I can take her to a ball and make her pass like a Hungary princess. So they make the bet, and he takes that woman to his house, and he start teaching him. He starts teaching her how to pronounce the words, how to pronounce, and it's used a lot of phonetics there. Yeah, a lot of phonetics. And so he starts like making the oh, and he starts teaching her the English language, although she was English, but she spoke awfully. So he starts, you know, learning a little by little, and then she starts falling in love with the teacher, right? But the guy used her like something, it was his pet, okay? So he, in a certain way, play with the feelings of that woman. But it's a wonderful movie. That movie, I think it won the Oscar. There were, Rick Harrison, I think, won the Oscar, and Audrey Hepburn was the lady, My Fair Lady. So if you can see it, it's one of the best movies for English teachers, because in there, you know, you learn how to teach phonetics, teach pronunciation, right? And you learn a lot of, it's a fantastic movie. And the English of the linguists is fantastic because they are British. So try to find it. Probably you are going to find it in, I don't know, Google, or I don't know. I don't think it is going to be in Netflix, but probably it can be somewhere else. But it's a fantastic woman. It's called My Fair Lady, and it was based in the book Pygmalion, written by George Bernard Shaw. Okay, that's the introduction. Melissa, read the other one. Attributed to Woody Allen.
You can live to be 100 only if you give up all the things that make you want to live to be 100.
All right. Who said that? Woody Allen. What do you know about Woody Allen? Culture. Who is Woody Allen? Who is Woody Allen?
He was accused of raping several women, or not?
No, I wouldn't say so. He was accused of raping, his stepdaughter.
Ah.
Yeah, well, first of all, he is a famous movie director, and also actor. Yeah, now he's old, but he made wonderful movies. And in one of the movies he made, he got married with Mia Farrow, who was a famous actress. Mia Farrow acted in a famous movie called Bebé de Rosemary, Rosemary's Baby, which was a horror movie very famous in the 60s or 70s, probably. She was much younger than him, and they adopted many kids. And this guy, they never lived together. I mean, they were married, but they never lived together. She lived in one house with the kids, and he lived in another house in New York. They didn't live together. So he visited her, and they adopted several kids, one from Korea, another one from Japan, another one from different parts of the world. And this guy fell in love with Sun Ji. That was the name of her stepdaughter. And he had an affair with her. And Mia Farrow once saw a letter from Sun Ji to Woody Allen. So, you know, she exploded and sent him out of his life and accused him of raping her daughter and also accused him of raping the other daughter that they had. But in the end, and now Woody Allen is married to Sunji. They're married, and they have been married for more than 20 years. When she was like 17 when they split. I mean, Sunji was 17, and she decided to leave her house to live with Woody Allen for the rest of her life. And now they are still married. So it's kind of an incredible thing. Okay. Okay. So what do you think about these two sayings? Youth is wasted on the young, and you can live to be 100 only if you give up all the things that make you want to live to be 100. Do you understand them or not? Or which one do you understand better? Let's see the first one. Youth is wasted on the young. What do you understand by that? Youth is wasted on the young.
Maybe it's a critique about the way in which young people
Young people live.
live.
Right? Okay. So look at that. That George Bernard Shaw lived in the 50s, 1950s. So imagine that. Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's kind of a criticism on the way young people live. Yeah. So imagine that, I don't know, like 100 years ago, a little bit less, like 80 years ago, they already criticized young people the way they live. Yeah, they found them crazy, and they found them that they didn't enjoy their life. And it's the same thing that we are doing now. What is the criticism that we do to our children or to our, young people? What is the criticism that we do? I have my own idea. What is your idea? Do you agree with the way young kids live? Because you are not adolescents anymore. You are now like adults, all right? Do you agree with the way, for example, your brothers or sisters enjoy their life? Do you like it? Is it different from, yes, Camila?
I think young people are jumping from one state to another too fast.
Okay,
From
yeah.
kids to adults.
Yeah. So you think that they do not live in a proper way? Okay.
Yes.
Any other idea? Any other idea? I have my own idea, but I don't want to tell you. I want you to tell me.
I think that teenagers maybe waste all the time in social media. And that is
Social
bad.
networks. Social networks.
Mhm.
Yeah, and video games. Okay. Do you agree with that, Ricardo? That young people, as teenagers, like or young boys, young girls, are not enjoying life because they are too much into social medias and social networks and things. Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you criticize that, or do you do the same?
Yeah, I do the same, but but they are too young to spend all the time on their phones. They should be outside playing with their friends. Well, of course, we are on a pandemic, but
Before that,
they should have enjoyed their life in another way, without technology or with less technology.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that nowadays children don't go out in general. They stay home all the time, sitting, no sports. Yeah. So that is pretty bad in general. We are not, I mean, kids are not enjoying. Kids are, and they have too many things too young. I agree with Camila in the sense that they start like using cell phones and probably, you know, knowing girls when they are 8 or 9. Yeah. So, but I think that the big problem here is that they're not living their life the way they should. That is to say, playing, but not playing games, playing outside, you know, sharing with their classmates, with their friends from the neighborhood. And they don't do that. Now, the other, it says you can live to be 100 only if you give up all the things that make you want to live to be 100. Do you understand it? What's your opinion?
That only that you need is yourself.
Yeah. You don't need too many things, like material things. Yeah. It's kind of saying that you can live to be 100 only if you give up all the things that make you want to live to be 100. Yeah. So we are all the time like, you know, hoping to have more things.
So it's like you have to set aside all the things that don't let you progress in life, maybe.
Make you want to live to be 100. What things make you want to live to be 100? I think you want to, I mean, why do you want to live 100 years? Why? What for? I would say that there are many things that because you want to live with your family all the time, you want to feel like I am old, I am wiser than the rest. I mean, I think it's kind of a, the idea in here is that you have to just live. Don't have the desire to live to become very old. The idea is that you, in fact, why do you want to live 100? Because you don't want to die. Okay? So as you don't want to die, you want to live. So you have to give up all these things. You have to give up the fear. You have to give up the idea of being powerful, etc. So you just have to live and accept what life is given to you. I think that that's kind of the idea. It's kind of complicated, but I think that for me, that's the idea. You just have to give up all the things, yeah, that make you want to live to be 100. I think you want to live to be 100 because you don't want to die. So if you are afraid of dying, you die. So if you are not afraid of dying, you live because you don't care. You just live. And then suddenly you're going to die, and that's it. Okay? You have to accept that. Do you want to live a lot? Would you like to live 100? To be 100? No, Camila, why not?
No, I think everyone needs to die today someday.
But when? What would be your ideal age to die?
I don't know.
You don't know. What about you, Melissa? When would you like to die? Not now.
Well,
Not now, right?
I have a high possibility to have Alzheimer's, so before that.
Why? Why do you say so?
All my family had Alzheimer, all my grandparents.
Okay, you have to say, all my family has had, right? Has had, because they don't have. Has had, probably, right? has had Alzheimer's. So you believe that you are going to die young.
I prefer so.
You would prefer that. You know, my mother died 78 years old. My brother died 63. And my dad died 95. So I have both. Okay. My father died this year with 95 years old. And he was pretty well before dying. He was okay. But the problem is that he had to go to the hospital. And then in there, he kind of went down because he had a lot of injuries in his back, and he could never go back to his state again. Yeah. He was living with me like 6 months in my house after the pandemic, or before the pandemic. I brought him to my house, and he was really well. He went out here, he went out to walk. He was pretty clear on his mind. But after living with him, I think that I wouldn't like to live that old. I think that it would be great to live until I feel okay. But I think that I would like to die like this, fast. Heart attack, and that's it. Boom. Bye-bye. Yeah. I wouldn't like to have a what's the name of that? Vascular stroke. A stroke. That is bad. But if I die from a heart attack, it's okay. I wouldn't like to die from COVID, because you are going to die alone in the hospital. Not good. I would like to live until 90 could be okay, if I am still clear on my mind. But I am immortal. I think I'm not gonna die. Okay, your ideal age, Francisca, what would be to die? $50, $60, $70, $80, $90. Francisca?
No, it doesn't matter to me. How I said, life is short, so I just wanna enjoy and be happy. Okay, so it doesn't matter if my life is long, large.
No, long. It's okay.
Long.
Life is long.
Yeah. So
okay.
If I die in 13 years old, but I'm happy, that's fine to me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look at. Let's finish with this. We're going to finish with this exercise that appears here. Look at the sentences and decide whether the underlined words have a positive or negative connotation. Right. We're going to read them first. Listen, read number 1.
Much as I like him, his rather juvenile sense of humor makes me question his suitability for a job that requires a degree of tact.
Okay, there's a difficult word or sentence. Much as I like him, his rather juvenile sense of humor makes me question its suitability. It's not sweet, it's suitability for a job that requires a degree of tact. Okay, Melissa, read number 2.
She has a childlike innocence about her that is rather surprising.
All right, Camila, number 3.
Like many actors of his generation, he has Like many actors of his generation, he has retained a youthful demeanor despite his advancing years.
Advancing years. Francisca, number 4.
We are both mature.
Mature.
We are both mature enough to discuss this without getting emotional.
Emotional. That's right. Ricardo. Number 5.
5. I think most practical jokes are humorless and puerile. Puerile?
Puerile. Puerile. That's a very
Puerile.
difficult word. Puerile. I had to look it up at the dictionary because I didn't know how to pronounce it. Puerile.
Right.
Puerile. Do you understand that word in Spanish? Puerile. Pueril.
Pueril.
Do you understand what it is? What it means? Pueril?
No.
It's like not very important, not like it's like a childish or something like that. Not mature. Yeah, something that is not with good mind or something like that. And the last one, let's see, Camila. Some of these
geriatric rock stars should really think twice before going on tour. It's just embarrassing.
It's just
embarrassing.
embarrassing. What
Embarrassing.
rock stars could be geriatric nowadays? The most geriatric.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones. Yeah, they are. I mean, they are over the 80s and they are still, you know.
He looks like a mummy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I saw Paul McCartney, like last year it was, I think. Last year. Yeah, last year. He was almost 80. He was 79. And the group was wonderful, but his voice was not the same. A little bit less. Anyway, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay. And it was so happy to have seen one of the Beatles in my life. Yeah, that was the greatest moment I've lived. Okay, so the exercise as homework says here, which of the words of the box could you use to replace the underlined words in activity 2? Which one has a different connotation? But first, I think that you have to say if these have a positive or negative connotation, these words that are underlined. Yeah, that is the first, that is the homework, okay? Look at the sentences and decide whether the underlined words have a positive or negative connotation. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so remember some little things. I'm going to upload the materials, and remember that in 2 more weeks we are going to have we are going to start with tests. So be prepared for that. I think you have to have lots of exercises that we have done and study a lot because the exercises are kind of difficult. Okay. And we're going to start probably with writing and reading, and then we're going to go into the speaking and grammar. Okay. Did you know that the schedule for the semester, the calendar for the semester was changed? Did you know that? So we are going to have more time semester. Well, the ones that started in the right week, they are going to finish earlier. And we are going to finish a little bit late because we started 2 weeks later, right? So we're going to have 2 more weeks to study, okay? So that's good in one sense, okay? So that was all for today. See you tomorrow, okay?
See you.
See you then.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, don't forget to send me the materials, the ones. I know you already did it. Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye.